Welcome to Author Audience, where I'm on a mission to help you reach more people with your message. It's time to let your light shine. Today, I'm rolling out the red carpet and inviting you into my community for a behind-the-scenes look at what's working for authors just like you. My name is Shelley Hitz. I'm the owner of Author Audience Academy, and to be honest, the most rewarding part of my job is helping others get results and reach their goals. When I see people taking action and accomplishing things, it just makes my heart so full. And in this episode, I'm going to position the spotlight on one of my members, Susan Neal. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you so much, Shelley, for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I met Susan actually through my sister when I was in Florida, and so it's been fun just to get to know her better and to really help her accomplish a lot. I'm going to just share a little bit of your bio before we dive in. Susan Neal is a certified yoga instructor with over 30 years experience in practicing and teaching yoga. That's a lot of experience. As a pursuer of ultimate health, Susan merged her practice of yoga with her spiritual practice of Christianity. She is the founder of Scripture Yoga, and she recites theme-based scripture verses during her yoga classes, which I think is so awesome. I love that. So you can learn more about her at christianyoga.com. So for this week's Center Stage Spotlight training, we're going to really just focus on how Susan published 2 books and 4 products in 1 year. So Susan, just tell us a little bit about how you even got started on this journey.
Well, how it began is I had a yoga instructor who came to my class, and she was Christian, and she had just started a Christian yoga class, and she was having a really difficult time doing it. And I realized that I had so much, knowledge about it. So I began writing a book that had 21 Bible lessons for Christian yoga classes, or it could be for any type of exercise class. And so then I met you, and I started following you on your podcast, and then I had written my book, and I wanted to publish it. I wanted to self-publish because you get 70% of the proceeds from Amazon if you self-publish. So
yes, on Kindle. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I joined Author Audience Academy.
Yeah, and I specifically remember my sister, his family is really good friends with you and your family, and I specifically remember my sister taking us to your house, and you had like this table of spread out things like several books in process, different products you'd created. You'd already created a DVD at that time. And so you already had the dream, the passion, the idea. And when you joined Author Audience Academy, it was just the nuts and bolts of, okay, how am I going to do this now? How am I going to get this published and get it out to people?
Right.
So tell us what happened once you joined Author Audience Academy.
Okay, so I joined around Thanksgiving, and at first I was like, wow, there's so much stuff in here. I should have joined 6 months ago instead of waiting, because it could have helped me with the writing process.
Yeah, and I think that's some misconception a lot of people have when they'll even write me and they're like, I'm going to wait until my book's written and then I'll join. And you're not the only one. A lot of people say that, but then when they join, they're like, I could have done it this way or that way, or, there's so much more there.
Yeah, you could have really helped me. So I wish I had joined earlier, but sometimes you want to follow someone and see, okay, is this, do I sync with this person, etc.
Right.
You're Christian, and you would always pray, and it was just great fit because you're nonfiction and you're also Christian. So I joined the Academy, and the first thing is I went and had my manuscript edited. And then after I had it edited, I had it formatted because I had like 90 photographs. So I needed help with putting it in the format. Now you provide for individuals how to format it yourself to save that money, but I couldn't do that with all the photos.
Yeah.
So then after that, I got my launch date, and I published my book in May.
Awesome.
Initially I did it on Kindle. And then after that, I began working on, okay, I'm going to, after this, I'm going to put it as a print book. And I accomplished that in July. But in between that, because you kind of say, well, let's work on you can work on more than one product at a time. I started working on creating a scripture yoga decks.
And the scripture yoga decks, were you repurposing some of the images and things you already had from your book?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, can I go get it just a moment?
Yeah, definitely. And I love repurposing. I love how you can create something one time and then you can create multiple products. And that's exactly what you're doing. You created a Kindle book, a print book. You created these yoga scripture decks. Show us on the video for those that are watching.
Here is my book, Scripture Yoga. But then inside, I have different themes. So I would just take one of the themes. I took one of the themes out and then photographs from it, and I put it in a deck. And I got this idea from going to one of your classes.
Yes.
So I have a picture verse on one side and then a yoga pose on the other.
I love it.
Scripture verse and a yoga pose. And all my photographs have a beautiful picture of a cross in the background.
Yeah, I remember when you were getting those pictures taken, you were like, oh my goodness, how perfect is this? There's a cross in the background. Yes, I love that. And have you gotten good feedback about those cards as well?
Yes. I think people have a tendency more to buy the books. Or, I mean, I have DVDs too.
Yeah.
So, they seem to buy them more than the decks, but the decks is, something that is different.
Yes.
So I published the book on Scripture Yoga, and then I did the decks, and I did 2 different themes I took out of the Scripture Yoga book. One was on how to receive God's peace, and the other one was the fruit of the Spirit. So I got those done, and I got them published and produced in July. And then in July, I was going up to New York to actually speak at a Christians practicing yoga conference in reference to deal with this. Although I had been at women's retreats, many of women's retreats I had spoke at. But anyway, then in August, you did another, you used to call them take action workshops.
Yes.
And this one was about how to make a digital product. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use what I have out of my second book. My second book I actually published in September, and it's called Yoga for Beginners.
I love it. And those of us that are authors, we sit at a desk a lot, so that's a great book to get. Those flexibility exercises.
So then I took a chapter out of it, Eat to Live, and this is a low carbohydrate, low glycemic, anti-inflammatory diet.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just took a chapter out of my book and created a digital product. And so that's only $5 for this little digital product, and it's a great resource for people.
Yeah, and I didn't say this in your bio because there was so much, but you're also a nurse, and you have a lot of medical qualifications for what you're doing. And what are your qualifications exactly?
Yeah, I'm a registered nurse. I have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a Master's in Business Administration, and a Master's in Health Science.
Yeah. So, I mean, those of you listening, I mean, she's not just doing something because, oh, I like yoga. I mean, it's, it's definitely, you have the credentials to go behind it. I was just reminded of that when you held up your book. But yeah, so, you now have 2 books, the 2 scripture card decks, you have the digital product. Did you create a second digital product?
Yes, my second digital product is basically improvement and reversal of Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
And there was a study published in June 2016, and they had some of these people improved with their learning tests from 3% to 84%.
Wow.
By going on the protocol. And so what I did is I looked at the protocol and what they did with the research, and I put it into layman's terminology so everybody can understand it.
Exactly.
And I produced this first reporting of improvement and reversal of Alzheimer's and dementia in the scientific world. And that's on my website, christianyoga.com, for people to purchase that. Because
awesome.
You can have the link to the real article, research article, but it's very difficult to understand.
Right. Tell me the bottom line.
Take your vitamin B12, eat to live diet, and, take your vitamin D and this and that. And, there's 20 different things to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have now created just a variety of ways that you can share your expertise. You can help people. And I know you have even more things and more ideas. You're definitely a go-getter and you apply it, you put it to use. I love it. You just recently told me, you went to a speaking engagement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, it was so exciting. I went to, it's called the Blue Lake Christian Writers Retreat.
Oh, fun.
And I taught yoga every morning, and I just had an overwhelmingly positive response. In fact, the director of the retreat, she just emailed me last night, and she said that 4 out of the top 10 products were my products.
Oh, wow. The ones
Yes.
that you brought to sell?
Yes. So it was just incredible. And it was wonderful. So I have done so much. I accomplished so much. This my second book, the Yoga for Beginners. I published it in Kindle in September, and then in November I did it in print. And what I did is, again, you taught us, well, you can reuse different things in your book. Well, I had spent so much time, with 5 photo sessions doing gorgeous pictures on the beach.
And you did a lot of formatting, I remember, too. I mean, you spent a lot of time.
Yeah. So I took those 90 pictures and I created a secular book, a secular yoga book, versus my first one is a Christian yoga book. So it was for 2, different audiences. And then everything else in the books are completely different. And the Yoga for Beginners, it's how I lost my health and what steps I took to regain it.
Wow.
And then how I came up with this great diet to maintain health, cognitive ability, and your ideal weight.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend those of you listening. I mean, as authors, as writers, we spend so much time sedentary, and if you're struggling in your health at all, definitely check out Susan's resources. And one of the tips, just, as you were talking, it's like speaking engagements are one of the places you can sell the most books, and you're seeing that. And so if you have a venue that you might want to bring Susan in, have her lead the group in flexibility and yoga and things like that, also check out her site for that, christianyoga.com. But also, if you have books, really consider stepping out and doing speaking engagements, even if it's outside of your comfort zone, because it can really be huge impact, and it can be a way to really get the message out to more people. What do you have for us today, Susan, as like a take action tip for the listeners today?
If you have a dream to publish a book, join Shelley's Author Audience Academy. It is well worth it. Look what I did. I can't believe how much I accomplished in 1 year. It was Thanksgiving to Thanksgiving, and it was unbelievable. I have 6 products.
And now you're putting them to use. You're, able to go and do these speaking engagements, and you have so much to offer them, not only to make money, which you've invested a lot into this, so you want to be able to earn money from it, but to help people with their health, to get the message to more people, and to really just see God use you in even a deeper way. Because that's why I created my very first book, was I would be speaking and I'd want something to leave with them to help them to go deeper. And that's exactly what you have now. You have these resources, and people can continue to go through those yoga exercises and, just the different eating plans for a long time. So you have no idea how many people you're going to impact through this. So, and I'm just so excited that you joined, and can't wait to see what God continues to do in your life. So where's the best way for people to connect with you if they want to find out more or invite you to speak or get your books?
christianyoga.com. All of it's in there. And if you want to contact me to speak or teach a Christian yoga class, please contact me. There's a contact link for speaking, and I'd love to go. Love to.
Yeah, and it's such a unique thing. I think it'd be a great asset for any conference, retreat, things like that. Even just to have you speaking and sharing your story throughout the retreat. So thank you so much, Susan. And thank you all for joining us for this episode of Author Audience. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Author Audience. I would like to invite you to attend one of my free trainings on 3 proven book writing formulas every nonfiction author needs to know. This is a fun and fast way to write a nonfiction book, but also a book that you're proud of. Plus, I will give you 2 free gifts just for attending. No credit card required. First, you'll get my 10 nonfiction book title templates, and you'll also get my ebook titled Brilliant Brainstorming. It's a 28-page ebook, and both of these bonuses are yours at no charge just for joining us for the training. You can sign up for my free training by going to shelleyhitz.com/formulas. This training and the 2 bonuses are free, and I would love to help you write your next nonfiction book.